Good afternoon, book lovers of the internet. I am Book Nerd 802, and in this video, I am going to be speaking with you about my fourth day of teaching practice. It's Thursday, so we are finally approaching the end of the week. Today, I spent most of my day in the staff room because I only had two literature lessons to give, and the literature lessons I did give to the grade 8s were identical to each other, so I didn't really have a lot to prepare, but I did manage to finish a poem, the one I have been chatting about in previous videos, this one called Bonfire by Jean Kenward. Feel free to look it up online. So I think they enjoyed the poem. They immediately caught on to the fact that the poet is trying to personify the bonfire. There is a lot of imagery there as well. It is quite an evocative poem, especially for younger minds, as are those of the ones I am teaching. I also went into a lot of depth with regard to teaching them about run-on lines, consonants, assonance, alliteration, metaphors, similes, several literary devices or figures of speech, as they would much rather call them. The students felt comfortable enough with me to even share some of their nicknames, which was completely a breath of fresh air. I wasn't expecting for them to feel so happy to be in my class after only four lessons. Of course, I would never allow for them to gain too much confidence with me. There has to be a level of professionalism, and if I allow them to do as they please, that would be lost entirely, and they would no longer take me seriously, which isn't something that I want to happen. But I, of course, um, tolerate whenever they're trying to share any of their thoughts, even if it's not entirely related to the lesson, as long as they do it in English, because they get to practice the language and at the same time they get to have a break from the lesson. So sometimes I allow them to change the topic for a few minutes, maybe 1, 2 minutes at most. The lessons are already quite short as is, but if they're enjoying a very short discussion about a topic they love, it would serve as a bit of a breather, and in the meantime, I generally make sure that my slides are working properly, that I can move on, give them the answers, get them to correct each other's work, because the lessons can't be teacher-centered, so ideally you get them to either think, pair them together, and then ask them to share, or get them to correct each other's work and show the answers on the interactive whiteboard or the whiteboard. That is what's been recommended to me. So yeah, as I was mentioning, today was a very long day despite me only having two lessons. I am totally exhausted. I do have another four lessons tomorrow, and for the first time ever at the school I am in, I have to give three lessons in a row from 7:55 until 8:35, from 8:35 until um, 9:05, I believe, and 9:05 until 9:45, which is when they have their break, to my knowledge. So that is approximately 2 hours of teaching, 7:55 to 9:55. Not sure where I messed up there. The lessons are all um, 40 minutes long. In fact, something is not adding up. Not sure if there is in fact, yeah, I know where I am messing up. The grade 9s have a break at a different time to the grade 8s, as far as I know. I'll have to check the timetable very quickly in order to let you know precisely what I have to do tomorrow. So tomorrow I have a lesson from 7:55 to 8:35 and from 8:35 to 9:15, then from 9:15 to 9:55, all back to back, so I have to be very quick with packing my stuff up and moving from one classroom to the next one, and then I have another lesson at 10:50 until 11:30 with the grade 8s. I am going to finish the day with some language lessons tomorrow because I feel as though it's a good way to end the week. With the grade 9s, I am doing literature because we did a lot of language together already And it's my first time doing literature with the Form 3, so I look forward to teaching them Night Mail by W. H. Auden. Hopefully, I don't have a problem with the timing because I need to get a lot of it done. There is a lot of literature left to do, and I have to cover two topics from the book as well for the language lessons, so I am going to be quite busy. My friend has really been helping me with the grade 9 scheme of work as well, and this weekend I will be very busy with writing classroom profiles where I have to write 300 words with regards to each class I taught this week, their behavior, what I think of the class as a whole, what their level is, and I have to write 300 words about 9 different students, which is 2,700 words in total, in order for me to realize that the students are individuals rather than a class as a whole, which I suppose I know already, but university requires me to write approximately 7,500 words a week in order to make it through my teaching practice, and so far I haven't really been making it through as well as I originally hoped I would. Um, so I can only hope for the best next week. I definitely plan on improving on the suggestions I was given. For instance, I was also criticized on the way I dress when I go to class. For instance, the way I go to class is usually rather casual for the reason that I don't want the students to be intimidated by my presence. I don't want them to think of me as a friend, but at the same time, I don't want them to feel threatened by my superior knowledge. It has to be said that I know way more than they do with regard to the subject since I've been studying it for longer. So, um, I do not wish to feel like a threatening presence or an intimidating one, but apparently that goes against university regulations. So this weekend I have to go clothes shopping, buy a pair of shoes which is not a pair meant for hiking or walking, despite all the walking I do, so it's going to be horrible for my feet, unfortunately, but that is the way things go. And I am also going to buy some plain t-shirts and some shirts as well in order to look more formal and give the impression that I am representing the university basically. But that is all I had to say for today with regard to day 4 of my teaching practice. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my videos because why not? They're absolutely amazing. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.